As you look through this Victorian, turn-of-the-century house on the outskirts of Buffalo, the last thing that comes to mind is trash. At one time a convent, this beautifully restored historical landmark is the corporate headquarters for the CID Group, one of the region's largest waste management corporations. Recently named Western New York's Entrepreneur of the Year by Inc. magazine, Ernst & Young in Merrill Lynch, Richard Penfold represents the third of four generations that have worked in the waste industry. He branched out on his own in 1974, founding CID with 2 trucks, 2 employees, and a single route in Hamburg. Today, the company has annual sales close to $50 million and handles the collection, transportation, disposal, as well as the recycling of solid waste throughout Western New York. In fact, CID took the lead in recycling long before it was mandated. Overall, the CID Group currently has 4 strategically located districts in Chaffee, West Seneca, Rochester, and Buffalo, New York. From these districts, CID serves over 5,000 commercial customers, 25,000 municipal, and 32,000 residential customers in Western New York. Diane Genovese spoke with Richard Penfold to learn more about this rapidly growing, family-owned enterprise.
Dick, could you give us a little history about the company and how it has changed with the industry over the years?
My grandfather was a pig farmer, and he used to collect the garbage on the side to feed it to the pigs. And the government came along and changed the regulations and required him to cook the garbage before he fed it to the pigs. As a result, he couldn't do that, so he got out of the pig business and remained in the garbage business. My father joined the company, and then subsequently I joined the company with my father. In 1974, my wife and I decided that we'd go off on our own and start our own company. And we started off with a couple trucks and a couple men, and proceeded to grow with the company. We purchased a landfill in 1977. The regulations at the time were just 2 pages. Now, just for a sanitary landfill, they're over 400 pages. And we proceeded to take the landfill and get a permit in 1981 and subsequent renewals since then.
What would you say is your primary goal?
Our primary goal was to take and build a company that gave quality service. In order to do that, I wanted to make sure that we had good, clean equipment and good employees. As a result, we have 3 maintenance facilities to maintain the equipment and a good training group to take and train the employees. We did a service survey 2 years ago, and we had a 40% response rate. We had 96% of the people say that the service was good or excellent. Of the 4% that sent in comments, over 60% of the comments was good. So in a service industry, that's really a good indication that they're doing a good job.
Dick, tell us a little about CID's involvement in the community.
CID has a pilot program going with the Pioneer School District, our local school district. We also are going to earmark some of our funds from our recycling contract with the City of Buffalo for education. We also conduct several tours at the landfill for Brownie troops, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, etc. We had over 1,000 children take a tour of the facility last year. We also have an annual open house for all of our customers, neighbors, and anybody that's interested in seeing what a landfill is. We had over 1,200 people come through this last year at the landfill.
Located in Chaffee, New York, is the CID landfill, a municipal solid waste facility. Also, the CID offices and their maintenance facility. The CID landfill is constructed, permitted, and regulated under the jurisdiction of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Access to the landfill is from a strictly controlled private road which runs directly off of a New York State highway. All vehicles are carefully checked, weighed, and inspected before they are allowed to travel through the site and to the active area. Sophisticated engineering goes into the construction of a double liner over 6 1/2 feet thick. There is a primary liner and a secondary liner. Each liner starts with a thick foundation of compacted clay which is carefully inspected. This is covered completely with a carefully laid out 60 mil high-density polyethylene sheet. The polyethylene sheet is completely sealed. This sheet is then topped with a granular layer in which a PVC collection pipe is buried, and this is topped with a geotextile fabric. The entire system is repeated again for the primary liner layer, which creates an impervious barrier. As refuse is deposited in the active area, heavy-duty specialized equipment goes right to work compacting all of it. At the end of each day, the active cell must be covered with at least 6 inches of soil. This layer is then pushed back at the start of the next working day. The typical landfill produces commercial quantities of methane gas about 5 years after it is opened. The DEC requires careful collection of this gas. It can then be used to provide heat and electricity, which can be used for commercial, residential, and community purposes. The bank of generators shown here is powered by the methane gas from one landfill, each generator producing up to 4.8 megawatts of power. The CID landfill has been a good corporate citizen, providing jobs, economic opportunity, and development, as well as revenue to its host community. Thank you.